Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Allen D9J Sports. We're right back at it with another one. I'm here to tell you, there's a lot of sparks and fireworks going on in Bayou Bingo country, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, about 3 hours from the 409, where former head coach Brian Kelly has filed a $54 million lawsuit alleging that the team is refusing to honor his buyout after he was fired 2 weeks ago after the loss to the Texas A&M Aggies. A lot to uncover, ladies and gentlemen. A lot to unpack. Sit back, relax. Let's jump right into this thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching TV, you already know. Reports are coming out that LSU's former LSU head coach Brian Kelly is suing the team and they're refusing to honor his contract. Okay, the lawsuit filed in civil district court in Baton Rouge alleges that LSU representatives told Kelly's attorneys on Monday that the coach was never formally terminated the day after LSU's 49-25 loss to, at the time, number 3 Texas A&M. Additionally, the lawsuit says LSU representatives told Kelly's lawyer for the first time this week that the university intended to fire him for cause, a move that could substantially reduce the buyout. Okay. If LSU offers details to Brian Kelly's lawyers about what the grounds are, they have not been mentioned so far in the lawsuit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's break this thing down. We know they've already fired him, but what's going to be just cause? What is the LSU Tigers going to use as just cause to fire Brian Kelly? Well, I can tell you right now, the only thing that I can think of, and it surely ain't because he was just losing games, but the only thing I can think of that probably is going to hold some weight is they're probably going to come out. And I'm not, they didn't say this, but I'm just telling you my opinion at D9J Sports. They're going to probably come out and say that Brian Kelly created a hostile environment and the athletes were mentally out of it and couldn't produce on the football field. That's what I'm thinking that they're going to use as just cause, because Brian Kelly hasn't been at LSU that long. Now, unless there are some things going to come out that we don't know about, that we've never heard about, we know some of the tragic incidences happened out at LSU under Brian Kelly's watch. We know one young man took his life. There's so many things that have happened, right? But just cause, that's the only thing I can think of, unless, like I said, unless there's something else that we don't know about. Now, when it comes to just losing ball games, we know that Penn State fired their coach a couple of weeks ago. And the reason they fired him, and he got a buyout, because he couldn't win games. He couldn't win the big game. He wasn't winning games. He couldn't win the big games against the big schools. And he'd been there for quite a while, and they fired him. But Brian Kelly ain't been at LSU, 3-4 years, if that long? And they fired him. But the one thing, the eye in the sky doesn't lie, ladies and gentlemen. Every time you seen Brian Kelly on the sideline, he was ripping his players. I mean, he was ripping them to shreds. Now, in modern day football and modern day sports, we already know. Man, coaching like the days of the great legendary Bill Parcells, when he would go back and forth with Phil Simms. As far as I'm concerned, that's totally different, because Phil Simms is a grown you-know-what man. And Phil Simms would go back at Bill Parcells. But in this case right here, a young kid out there playing football, and that's what they are, young kids, even though they're getting paid, for the coach to constantly rip them like that. Do you remember last weekend they were playing, man? They were playing Alabama, and even the commentators in the booth said it, man. Was it McElroy and them? They said it. With the one time the quarterback made a mistake, and they said, man, if that was Brian Kelly, you already know what was happening if the player got to the sideline and Brian Kelly was over there. He would rip his players over and over again. And that's one of the things, I don't know Brian Kelly, but as far as coaching, I've already made it publicly known on my show that I'm not a Brian Kelly fan, because what would happen if one of those players, or all of those players, constantly come back at him the way he comes at them? The way he comes at them. Now, let's talk about LSU and the $54 million buyout. Stop LSU. Come on, man. You created that monster. You gave that man $54 million in a buyout. Go ahead and honor it. Honor and get that man his money. Get that man his money, because you knew right along before he even got there, he had the same type of antics when he was coaching the great Notre Dame. But you don't see Marcus Freeman over there going on off on his players like that. Okay? But so you knew what you were getting before you even hired the guy. So now you want to come up with just cause. I'm really going to, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen and what are they going to use as just cause. Because $54 million, I don't give a damn if you're a big time university, $54 million is $54 million. That's a lot of cash. Now, how is that going to affect LSU moving forward? But before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need you to hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the like, subscribe, and the donate button. Hit the like and subscribe and donate button, ladies and gentlemen. Every time that you hit the like button, the algorithm picks it up. Every time you hit the donate button, I can get more things to help keep this channel going. So hit the like and subscribe button. And once again, this video is brought to you by none other than me, here, Alan, D9J Sports, owner of D9J Sports. This is who this video is sponsored by myself. Let's continue rolling on, ladies and gentlemen. $54 million, as I said, $54 million is a lot of money. So how is that going to, is that going to detract other coaches from going to LSU? I don't know. It depends on who the coach is, because LSU's, I would say that LSU's one of the top jobs. We know you got Ohio State. That's a great job. Alabama's a great job. There are so many great jobs that are there, but is that going to deter somebody from wanting to go to LSU? I think so. I think so, because the first thing is, if that's going on, man, and you don't know what else is going to come out, and the school's going to lose $54 million, what else is going to happen, man? And you're going to have that over your head, and are they going to, if you get a job there, they're going to honor your buyout if you happen to leave? Because let's be honest, we know coaches get hired to get fired. On all levels, coaches get hired to get fired. But I can tell you right now, this is a hell of a story. It's a hell of a story, and it's going to take over the airwaves, and I want to see what's going to happen. Just cause. Louisiana State University and just cause. It's a hell of a one, ladies and gentlemen. And you know Brian has enough money to fight him. So we're going to see. We're going to see what's going to happen. If you're an LSU fan, jump in the comments and let me know what you think, one way or the other. And if you're not an LSU fan, you're just thinking, wait a minute, man. Just another company don't want to pay off in the end. It's Alan with D9J Sports. I'm definitely